Earlier in this lesson, we talked about the 7-layer OSI model, and we see that here on screen as a reminder. And before we go any further in our studies, I need you to be aware of a few different terms. These terms are protocol data units, or PDUs. Essentially, a PDU is what we call data at a specific layer of the OSI model, specifically the lower 4 layers. We've got a name for data at the physical layer. We've got a name for data at the data link layer, and at the network, and at the transport layer. First, let's think about the physical layer. At the physical layer, this is where we're putting data on the wire. We're sending out a series of ones and zeros, binary bits. So our PDUs, our protocol data units at the physical layer, are bits. At the data link layer, this is where we're going to have things like Ethernet switches forwarding data. The data forwarded by an Ethernet switch is a frame. We've got a frame at layer 2. The protocol data unit at the network layer is a packet, or a datagram you might see in some of the literature. Now, packets is an interesting term because we oftentimes refer to data at any layer as a packet. Here comes a packet out of a router. Here comes a packet out of a hub. Or here comes a packet out of a switch. Cisco actually says in some of their literature that you can use the term packet generically to refer to traffic. So I've tried to train myself to not get upset if I hear someone talk about a packet coming out of a layer 2 switch. You can actually do that and be okay according to Cisco because you can use the term packet generically. But as we go through our studies, and especially on the exam, I want you to know that a packet is a layer 3 protocol data unit. Or, like we said, you might hear the term datagram used. That's also a packet at layer 3. Finally, up at layer 4, we have segments. TCP and UDP, they use segments. So we've got bits, frames, packets, or datagrams, but typically we say packets, and segments. Now, let me give you a couple of memory aids to help you memorize these protocol data units. We can use the acrostic starting from the top down, starting at the transport layer and going down to the physical layer. We can use the acrostic of some people fear birthdays. Some people fear birthdays, where the S in some reminds us of the S in segments, and the P in people reminds us of the P in packets, and so on. Some people fear birthdays. If you want to start from the bottom up, starting at the physical layer and going up through the transport layer, you can think of bacon. You can remember the acrostic of bacon frying produces salivation. That's a couple of memory aids for you for these super important to know protocol data unit names.